That's right. Another pre-flight checklist. All right, for SA3 now, multiple texts, lots of characters. There's some numbers floating around that we want to make sure that we're checking those things off. So we want to be in full compliance with the minimum requirements. Otherwise, it's that 60%, which is a hard ding, and we want to avoid it. Okay, so that's first thing. Second thing, I do have a PowerPoint. It's in PDF format, but it is a PowerPoint that I've offered for you guys. You should see it right above where we are right now, unless you've opened this up in a new window. And I'm going to walk you through it, adding a little bit of explanation, but also just making sure I emphasize key things so that you fully understand them. Okay, so here we go. All right, the stuff that you need to double check. Again, these are, for lack of a better word, the deal breakers. You don't get these things done right, it's a lot of points off and it's a problem. So we really want to make sure that we're paying attention to that. So first things first, by the numbers, do you have an intro paragraph? Odds are you do. It ends with your thesis statement. It should be about a half page or so. Do you have 4 to 7 body paragraphs? Most of you will not have 4, but more likely 5. But if you got 4 really solid ones, they're well developed, they're very thoughtful. You've done a good, thorough job of explaining your concept through your characters. You should still be fine with that 4. It is possible to get a solid ASA grade if you do 4. Just because you do 7 doesn't make it better. Okay. More is not better. Better is better. We got to keep that in mind. And then obviously a good conclusion paragraph that isn't just generic summary, but telling us sort of what's the value of what you've taught us. Why is this concept important? Let's say you were writing about toxic femininity, just to choose something a little bit different. And you want to talk about how, weaponizing femininity to be manipulative and destructive is unhealthy, both for those who wield it and their victims. And so your conclusion might sort of talk about what we need to do to be more embracing of the positive sides of both masculinity and femininity, and also not tied to being only one or the other, that kind of thing. Maybe that's where you want to go. So your conclusion is being sort of thoughtful and interesting in that way. Now, right column here, does your essay have characters from at least 2 of the assigned texts? So we've got Dog Eaters, a play, not the novel, by Jessica Hagedorn. We have Anna in the Tropics by Nilo Cruz, and we have the movie Get Out. Are you using characters from at least 2 of those 3? Some students will choose to do all 3 because they like to. Great. If you found a really good connection between 3 different characters on 3 works, awesome. But it can't be 2 characters from 1 work. At minimum, your 2 have to be 1 from one of the plays, 1 from one of the plays or the movie, and you talk about them. You can bring in a 3rd as needed, but at minimum, at least 2 characters, main characters, from 2 of the assigned texts. At least 1,500 words. If it comes in at $14.99, I will be a jerk. I'm sorry, but you have to know a number is a number is a number. If it is not 1,500 or better, it is 60%. You need to keep track of that. Every word processing program, whether it's, the Word app or Google Docs or whatever, it will tell you how many words. And if you can't figure out how to find that information, quick Google search will give you the 2 or 3 10 seconds worth of steps to find it. And then obviously you must have a complete and accurate works cited page. Failure to have that is catastrophic. You can never cite from sources without having a proper works cited page. It's bad form and we don't want to do it. Okay. Next, talk about the theme in every paragraph. Every single paragraph should talk about your central theme: toxic masculinity, authenticity, family dynamics, the struggles of being a racial or ethnic minority, or whatever it might be. Okay. You will have that in every body paragraph, and your body paragraphs will be those ideas split up into smaller subcategories. Whatever you do, as it says in the second bullet point on the left column, do not have your characters be your method of organization. It cannot be my first paragraph is about character 1, my second paragraph is about character 2, my third is about character 3, and my fourth one is about a 4th character because I wanted 1 paragraph on each for my minimum 4. That is not acceptable. It is not correct. It will be catastrophic for your grade. Please don't do that. I'm begging you. Do you have specific details? So if you make a strong, specific claim, being concrete and specific, Tell us specifically about the characters, what their dialogue, what their actions represent, their identity markers, that kind of thing. Really talk about them in detail. Don't just say, this is personified by Chris from Get Out. And then you're just kind of sitting there. Can't do that. Okay. And then every single body paragraph, as I've said before, needs to connect to your thesis. What that means, more specifically than anything else, is your thesis is a large idea. Your body paragraphs are pieces of that idea broken up into small sections, right? Like it's like a dining room set. There's the table, there's a bunch of chairs. None of them is the dining room set. All of them together make the dining room set. Same thing for you guys. Your body paragraphs are not your essay. They are pieces of your larger thesis, right? They work together. Okay. Really, really important. Okay. Next, check spelling. Double check that you've got the author's names correctly spelled. A lot of people spell Peel, for example, P-E-L, and then they're done, or P-E-E-L-L, or P-E-L-L-E, or whatever, and it's just P-E-E-L-E, okay? Hagedorn is a classic one that students mess up because the autocorrect might offer some options. You make sure that it's spelled. It's not Jennifer, it's Jessica. Really make sure that you get the names right. And then if you are finding that you're not quite hitting that 1500, look to where you can add a little bit more analysis, a little bit more commentary. Don't add more quotes necessarily, though that might be the solution. But quite often, if you take a quote that you've written about and tell me a little bit more about that quote, that's a good way to stretch, to add. Okay, you may feel that you're being repetitive or redundant, but there's a high likelihood that what you're adding is quality commentary. Okay. And then, you know, if you have any final issues, you know that you can always just talk to me. Okay. There we go. Finally, as always, trust that your claims are solid, sound, valid, interesting, and that I will enjoy reading them because I do. I'm not interested in judging you. Judging you is a really negative experience and not one I want. I'm here to help you be a better writer. And that often means I have to tell you where you need to do better and what errors you're making and what you can do to fix them, but also where you are doing good quality work. I'm looking forward to that opportunity. So please make sure that you give me your best authentic work, warts and all. Don't use AI. Don't use editing software to make your paper better, because oftentimes it will stop sounding like you. It will sound very AI. And there's a high probability that some of those improvements, quote unquote, are not at all. I want your authentic voice. Help me be better, or help me make you a better writer. Okay? It's real important. All right? And that is it. Not much more for us to discuss. As always, as you're finishing up your essay, you can ask me questions. A lot of you did that for essay 1. A lot of you did that for essay 2. That's great. Keep the emails coming. I'll be happy. You know, I respond pretty quick. I'm happy to do that if you come at me with some good specific questions. Show me your paragraph, say what you're struggling with. I'll give you some suggestions on how to make it better, leaving comments on your draft, whatever. Make sure that you engage with me on that. Don't be afraid to ask me to do my job. My job is to help you, not just create stuff online and sit back and eat a bonbon or some donuts or something. It's here. I'm here to help you, right? It's my job. Let me do it. All right. Take care.